us remotely from across the country, we have NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, Commercial Crew Program Manager Kathy LUEDERS, International Space Station Program Manager KIRK SHIREMAN, and SpaceX President and Chief Operating Officer GWYNNE Shotwell. We're going to kick things off by letting them each make opening remarks, but for the members of the media who are joining us by phone, if you have a question, please go ahead and press *1 at this time so that we can take down your name. And if you need to withdraw your question at some point, you can always press *2. And for those following at home, we'd love to have you ask some questions as well. You can send them in on social media using the hashtag #AskNASA. Now we'll start with those opening remarks, beginning with Administrator Bridenstine.
Well, hey, thank you, Brandy, for opening this up. And of course, it's great to be with everybody on this really exciting day. As a matter of fact, just yesterday, we announced that we have a new human landing system that's going to take us all the way to the moon. And of course, in the midst of more development than we've ever had before in NASA's history, we are going to launch American astronauts on American rockets from American soil. We're going to do it here in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. And I'm going to tell you that this is a high priority mission for the United States of America. We as a nation have not had our own access to the International Space Station for 9 years. At the same time, we've had American astronauts on the International Space Station for 20 years in a row. And they've been doing this absolutely stunning experiments and discoveries and advancing the human condition from the microgravity of space. And these are capabilities that we cannot replicate here on Earth, but they have been tremendously valuable to all of humanity now for 20 years as we've had this space station crewed. We need to make sure that we keep it crewed, and not just crewed, but we need to make sure that it has its maximum complement of crew so that we can get the highest return on investment from this $100 billion investment provided by the American taxpayer. And that's what Commercial Crew is all about. This is a new generation, a new era in human spaceflight. And when I say it's new, what I mean is NASA has long had this idea that we need to purchase, own, and operate hardware to get to space. And in the past, that has been true. But now in this new era, NASA, especially in low Earth orbit, NASA has an ability to be a customer, one customer of many customers, in a very robust commercial marketplace in low Earth orbit. But we also want to have numerous providers that are competing against each other on cost and innovation. And that's really what we are entering into with this new era of human spaceflight. And of course, SpaceX has been an amazing partner of NASA now for many years, including resupply of the International Space Station, soon with providing crew, NASA astronauts, to the International Space Station. And as we announced yesterday with the human landing system, we're very hopeful that SpaceX will be taking our astronauts all the way to the moon in the not too distant future. So this is a very exciting time. The International Space Station is a critical capability for the United States of America. Having access to it is also critical. And we are moving forward very rapidly with this program that is so important to our nation and, in fact, to the entire world. So with that, Kathy, I'll give it to you to say a few remarks there from Cape Canaveral. I should say the Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Hey, I can't tell you how an exciting day this is for us too. Gwen and I have been waiting for this for a while, and I can't think of a better person to be sharing this phone call with right now. But I want to make it clear that this is one of many exciting and hard days that we have in front of us. And Gwen's team and my team are diligently working on getting the vehicles ready, making sure that all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed in our analysis, test data, assessments, going through all our reviews, and making sure that we are ready for this important mission to safely fly Bob and Doug up to the International Space Station, serve as a lifeboat, and return them to their families. This is a humbling job. I think we're up to it, and I look forward to showing you our progress. KIRK?
To be here today. As we sit here and speak today, orbiting over our head is the International Space Station with 3 humans on board. It's the largest vehicle that's ever orbited the Earth, and this year we're celebrating 20 years of continuous human presence on board the International Space Station. Our crews have conducted over 4,000 different investigations together with partners in 108 different countries around the globe. Truly an international endeavor. But today here we're to talk about the mission, the SpaceX mission, the Demo 2 mission, which is propelling the ISS to our future, and really looking forward to that. Today, as Jim mentioned, commercialization is a big effort on board the International Space Station. We're working with commercial partners developing facilities, testing modules, today we already transport cargo commercially, and very soon, of course, we're looking forward to transporting our crews commercially. This really is the next major step in commercializing low Earth orbit and having a really vital low Earth orbit economy, in which NASA is one of many customers. So we're looking forward to that. This launch will allow researchers around the globe to work with astronauts on board the space station to undertake many different scientific investigations. Today, the space already on board the International Space Station will be doing experiments on physiology, cardiovascular experiments, physical and life sciences, testing out life support systems for our future explorations, and together with testing out habitation experiments for our future human space exploration. A little over a week ago, we had our stage operational readiness review for the HTV, the JAXA cargo vehicle. That vehicle will launch from Tanegashima Space Center in southern Japan on May 20th and will arrive at the International Space Station on the 25th of May, just a few days before SpaceX Demo 2 will launch. Just yesterday, we had an all-day meeting doing our stage operational readiness review for the SpaceX Demo 2 launch. And I'm very pleased to announce that we passed that review successfully, and moving on to our subsequent milestones, culminating in a flight readiness review and launch readiness reviews in the very near future. This launch is our next step towards increasing American and really human presence on board the laboratory, the International Space Station. It really is critical. We're very much interested in significantly increasing the amount of crew time and the amount of throughput that we can do, this valuable research that we can do on board the International Space Station, things that can't be done anywhere else, certainly on the planet. So we look forward to having this flight and then repeatable, repeatable, sustainable low Earth orbit commercial crew transportation flights that allow us to test durations of flight of varying durations. So historically, we've had 6-month durations here over the last few years, and earlier in the shuttle program, we had 2 or 3 month durations, and even 2-week durations. But there's lots of other durations we need to explore to understand how the human body adapts to 0G. So we're looking forward to exploring those many different types of durations as we go forward. We can accomplish all this with Launch America on commercial vehicles and shape the future of space exploration and space economy on the International Space Station, the world's platform for global exploration, global partnership. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce GWYNNE Shotwell, President of SpaceX, and over to you, Gwen.
Good morning, everybody. I want to take this opportunity to thank NASA. We've worked closely with NASA since 2006, and all that work is culminating to this historic event that we have upcoming here in just a few weeks. My heart is sitting right here, and I think it's going to stay there until we get Bob and Doug safely back from the International Space Station. But between now and then, there's still work to do. I've got thousands of SpaceX employees who are focused on this mission. I think we have pounded the issues associated with Falcon and Dragon more than any other mission we've had in our history leading to here. We have been to the International Space Station 21 times. We hope that experience helps us to ensure that this next flight to the International Space Station is even more spectacular and productive. As I mentioned, there is still work to do. We have a few weeks ahead of us. There's some technical items to close. In fact, a little bit later today should be our final parachute test, 27th parachute test of this new Mark III design. We're looking forward to finishing that test and getting that item closed out. We spent years working on this vehicle. Kathy and I have been working together for a decade and a half, and I want to reiterate, I couldn't be working with someone better on this historic this mission. I wanted to show a video of one of the critical tests that we accomplished just a few months ago in January. It was called the in-flight abort test. This was a very large-scale system test to demonstrate the launch escape system, which is one of the primary differences between this Dragon and the cargo Dragon that we've taken many times to the International Space Station. So the video is rolling. Hope you enjoy it. It was quite a day.
Vehicle is pitching downrange. Stage 1 propulsion's nominal.
Falcon power and telemetry nominal.
Eagle, Dragon launch escape initiated.
Trickle firings are looking good.
Stage 1 throttle down. I see 10 meters per second horizontal.
Main chutes released.
Velocity decreasing.
So in addition to working closely with Kathy's team on the technical issues and the technical work to get done on Dragon and Falcon, we've also spent years working with the crew office and getting to know Bob and Doug. And I think that was a critical element of our view on the important nature of this mission. Is I wanted to make sure everyone at SpaceX understood and knew Bob and Doug as astronauts, as test pilots, badass, but dads and husbands. I wanted to bring some humanity to this very deeply technical effort as well. And I'm really excited to fly them here in a few weeks. So Demo 2 is, as I mentioned, just a few weeks away. We are also working on the next vehicle to go to the International Space Station, and that will be the Crew 1 mission. I've got just a couple of photos of the crew training in the Crew 1 Dragon, as well as the Crew 1 Dragon there in the final integration area. We should be shipping that vehicle in the next few months. And prepping for the first operational mission. Just bringing it back, Demo 2 is a test mission. I am not going to say that we haven't spent more on this particular test mission than any other test mission we've flown at SpaceX, but this is a test mission. We're doing this to ring out the systems, to demonstrate the systems during ascent on orbit at station and during descent with actual crew. Very exciting time. So I've finished my remarks. Jim, I think it's time to get back to you.